Ever wonder what separates those clunky, kind of robotic sentences from really smooth, flowing language? Well, the answer is usually a tiny little word that acts like the secret glue of our entire grammar system. So today, let's dive in and uncover the power of this ultimate sentence connector, the conjunction.
I mean, just look at the difference here. On the left, it's just robotic, a list of disconnected facts. But on the right, you have a sentence that actually flows, it tells a little story, and that smooth rhythm, it's all thanks to one simple tool.
So what is this secret ingredient, right? What's the one thing that takes us from that choppy list to a polished, connected thought?
Yep, it's the conjunction. You can honestly think of it as sentence superglue. It's the word that connects our ideas, creates logical relationships, and let's be honest, just makes our writing and speaking sound so much more professional.
And the great news is you really only need to master 3 main types to completely upgrade the way you communicate. So let's get into it and build your sentence toolkit.
All right, we're going to start with the most common type, the coordinating conjunctions. The key word you need to remember here is equal. These little guys connect 2 parts of a sentence that carry the exact same grammatical weight.
So how in the world do you remember all 7 of them? Well, luckily, there's a super simple and pretty famous mnemonic that makes it easy. Just remember the word fanboys.
So each letter in fanboys stands for one of the 7 coordinating conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And each one has a slightly different job, whether it's adding information, showing a contrast, or explaining a result.
Here is a perfect example. She is poor, and she is happy. Those are 2 equal, independent ideas. The word but is the bridge, the connector, creating a contrast that makes the whole sentence so much more meaningful.
Okay, next up we have subordinating conjunctions. Now, unlike our fanboys, these connect unequal parts. They link a main idea that can stand on its own, that's an independent clause, to a supporting idea that can't. This helps us show a relationship like a cause, a time, or a condition.
And you use these all the time, probably without even thinking about it. Words like because, although, if, and when, they're the real workhorses here. They're the words that answer questions like why, under what condition, or when did this happen?
Let's look at this. I stayed home. That's our main independent idea. It makes sense by itself. But why? Well, because it was raining. The conjunction because is what links the reason to the main action, creating one single, complete, logical thought.
And our third and final type is a little different: correlative conjunctions. Think of these as the dynamic duos of grammar. They always work in pairs to connect 2 balanced parts of a sentence. These pairs are all about creating this really strong, balanced structure. You've got either or for presenting a choice, both and to join 2 things together, and my personal favorite, the very powerful not only but also, which is just perfect for adding emphasis.
So this is all about adding that extra punch. Sure, you could just say, she is smart and hardworking. That's fine, it's correct, but using not only but also, well, that elevates the whole statement. It signals to your audience that both of these qualities are especially important and impressive. Okay, so now we have our toolkit. In this next part, let's talk about how to use these tools like a pro by avoiding some of the most common mistakes people make.
Oh, this is a classic mistake, the double conjunction. See, words like although and but are often doing a similar job. You only need one. So you can either say, although he was tired, he worked, or you can say, he was tired, but he worked. Both are totally correct, but using both at the same time is just redundant.
All right, this next rule is called parallel structure, and honestly, it's all about rhythm and consistency. When you connect a list of items, they all need to be in the same grammatical form. So instead of she likes reading to write and dancing, you'd say she likes reading, writing, and dancing. See how that flows? Keeping the forms parallel, in this case all ing verbs, just makes the sentence so much smoother.
And here's a quick but really important clarification. Some words can be tricky, right? But just remember to ask yourself what job the word is doing. A conjunction connects clauses. A preposition shows a relationship in space or time, like on the chair. And an adverb modifies a verb, like quickly. It all comes down to its function in the sentence.
So, let's bring it all together. We started with those short, choppy, disconnected sentences, and now we've seen how these little words, these conjunctions, can transform them into something truly polished and professional.
And this is really the key takeaway. Conjunctions aren't just some boring grammar rules we have to memorize. They're
They're essential tools for clear thinking. They're what let us connect different ideas, show complex relationships, and basically make our communication flow with logic and professionalism.
So here's the bottom line. Getting a handle on these small words is one of the fastest ways to level up your communication. It really is the difference between just listing facts and actually building a compelling, sophisticated argument. So the next time you write an email or you're prepping for a meeting, just consciously think about these connectors. How can you use them to make your ideas clearer, more connected, and way more powerful?